How you doing, guys? This is Eric from Wasteland.com. This video is about something that most preppers have very strong opinions about, and that is guns, and most specifically, which guns I think will be useful in disaster situations, shit the fan, WROL, whatever you want. In fact, it's 5 specific guns that I think every prepper, survivalist, whatever, needs to have. Now, I want to point out that I'm not talking about specific brands, calibers even, anything like that. I'm going to be talking about 5 specific jobs, basically, or categories that need to be fulfilled by 5 different weapons. You know, maybe somehow there could be a little bit of overlap between these, but I don't think so, and I'll show you why in a minute. So the first category, which I think everyone needs to have for general preparedness, is a main battle rifle. That can be fulfilled by something like the ubiquitous AR-15. It could be fulfilled by an AK-47, one of the AR-15 style assault rifles, pretty much any semi-automatic magazine-fed rifle. I would say at least 223 caliber. It can be 7.62, it can be 308 even, it can be 300 blackout. I don't recommend something like this SKS, even though these are great guns, as your main battle rifle, even though I have fit this one with the detachable magazines as opposed to the box magazines. You have to use a stripper clip, and it does have this sweet bayonet on it. I don't think with the speed at which you can change magazines and things like that, and the difficulty at adding optics or any additional accessories like that, I don't think it's ideal. But you have to have some kind of weapon that's going to be useful in offensive or defensive capabilities, things like that. It's just what I call a main battle rifle. Doesn't mean you're necessarily going to go into battle, but you could certainly use them for self-defense. You could use it for hunting. Even a 223 can pretty much kill any animal in North America. It might not be the best bet, you know, if it's like a grizzly bear or something, but it's certainly at least possible. You can have high-capacity magazines. There's ammo and parts for stuff like AR-15s everywhere, so they're a good choice. But it doesn't really matter what type of weapon you choose. It just has to be something that has those same capabilities. The second gun that everyone needs to have is a main sidearm. This is a 45 caliber Ruger P90. You could certainly use something like a 1911, although I would get a full-size one if it's going to be your main one. This is a 3-inch ultra carry. You can use a Glock, you could use a Beretta, you can use pretty much anything, but I would use a medium to large frame, like a full-size firearm, at least 9mm. You know, so you can consider any features you want, magazine capacity, stopping power, whatever you want, but just a basic full-size sidearm to go in addition to your main battle rifle. And obviously I don't have to explain all the reasons why you would want a pistol, but there's plenty of reasons why you can't always just use something like an AR-15 or an AK-47. Sidearms are not only good as a backup to those weapons, but they have plenty of additional uses on their own. The next gun that I think every prepper should have is a backup pistol. That can be anything from this, like an LCP here, which I have in a Galco Ankle Light, which is a fantastic holster. I've done a video on. You can check that out in the description. It's a 380 automatic. It could be something larger, like this Ruger Ultra Carry. It could be, you know, something like this Taurus 9mm, something like that. Basically just a compact or subcompact firearm you can wear, much more concealable, and wear it somewhere else other than just like a standard drop leg or hip holster. The reason being that not only does it serve as an additional backup, but it's also, there could be plenty of situations where you may want to be able to conceal a weapon very easily, and something like a full frame automatic like this could be very hard and heavy to conceal. What I don't recommend for this particular job, it's fine to have any gun like this, but not for this particular purpose, is I don't recommend really small guns like mouse guns or Derringers, single shots, stuff like that. They're just, you know, they're very easy to conceal, but they're so underpowered, and they usually lack a lot of the capacity in terms of ammunition. So I definitely recommend going up at least to something like a 380 or a 9mm, preferably, would be better, but LCPs are really great. So something that you can just easily conceal in addition to your other gun, that isn't going to be hard to carry, isn't going to be heavy, things like that, because backups are always important, and there's just a lot of places and situations where we might want to have something very, very easily concealed that something like this can't really fit that bill. And of course, it serves as a backup, emergency backup to your sidearm and even to your main battle rifle. The next gun that I think every prepper should have, and this one's super important, is the shotgun. In this case, this is a Mossberg 500. I do recommend that it be a 12 gauge. Beyond that, I don't think it's very important what exact gun you choose to get. I think that's up to you, whether it's a pump action, semi-automatic. I definitely would make it at least a pump action, not a break barrel or a stack barrel or anything like that. 2 shots is just not enough. There's no reason for preparedness purposes to go with that makes sense. I mean, obviously they might be slightly more reliable in terms of malfunctions, but a pump shotgun like this is so reliable that the just very additional reliability that you might get from like a double-barreled shotgun does not make up for the additional capacity and firing speed that you have with either a pump action or a semi-automatic shotgun. I do recommend 12 gauge over 20 gauge because it's just so ubiquitous. Ammo's everywhere. There's a lot more choices for ammo. You can still shoot really light powered rounds if that's a concern for you, but you have the option to shoot all the way up to like 3-inch magnums and slugs and all sorts of specialty rounds, non-lethal rounds, stuff like that. So even if you're concerned about it being too powerful, just get a lot of the lighter loads and shoot those instead for most of the time, but you at least have the option to do stuff like double-aught bucks, or slugs, things like that. This is a rather short, self-defense shotgun. You may want to go with a longer shotgun that you can use better for hunting and things like that, because while you can still use the long shotgun for self-defense, a short shotgun like this isn't going to perform nearly as well for things like duck hunting or longer range shooting. So yes, it's a little harder to maneuver a large shotgun indoors, but I think that's overall, if you just are going to have one, I think it's better to have one that's a little bit longer and performs better for hunting and things like that. But the 12 gauge shotgun is just super versatile. You can do pretty much everything with it, from hunting pretty much anything literally on the North American continent. You could start with birdshot all the way up to huge double-aught buck or giant rifled slugs and things like that. There's all sorts of, like I mentioned, non-lethal ammunition, bean bags, rubber bullets, things like that. There's incendiary rounds and armor-piercing rounds and just all sort of, flare-type rounds that you can use. So there's just an almost limitless list of things. You can doorbuster rounds, and you could, even in a bandolier like this, you could maybe spray paint or use different color coding techniques. So you can just whip out a shell and then pop it in real quick, which is an advantage to a pump action like this, is you can put a round in a lot more easily out of sequence than you could with something like a pistol or even an AR-15, because you have a round in the chamber. So even if someone walks in, you're ready to fire, but in the meantime, you could put the next round you need there, cycle it, grab the one that you haven't used, and then you're ready to go with whatever that next round was, even if it wasn't something you planned to use. If you need to use a flare or a dragon's breath or something crazy like that. So basic 12 gauge shotgun, super essential. Definitely should be one of the 5 guns that preppers should have in their arsenal. Last, but certainly not least, one of the super important guns that I think every prepper should have in their arsenal is a semi-automatic 22 long rifle. And I don't see any advantage. A lot of people like their lever actions and bolt action 22s. These stuff like the Ruger 1022 here and other modern 22 semi-automatics are so reliable. I don't think there's any reason to not choose a semi-automatic. And there's a couple even more important reasons beyond reliability. Certainly capacity is a big issue. A lever action is not going to hold that many rounds. Meanwhile, I can have 30-round magazines. At least they used to make up to 50 round for the 1022. In this case, I've got a 25-round magazine that's actually 2 25-round magazines permanently connected together. So you can always have 50 rounds ready to go, and all you have to do is switch the magazine around. So that's fantastic. 22 obviously has the cheapest ammo. You can carry tons of it. You can store tons of it super cheaply. And with this kind of capacity where you could hold, hundreds of rounds on you without too much trouble, it can even serve as an emergency backup to your main battle rifle if something went down and you need a rifle. You can throw a lot of lead down range with the 22. Certainly it's not that powerful, but you can do a lot of damage with it. You can kill a lot of various sizes of game. More people are killed with 22 bullets than any other bullet, mostly just because of the proliferation, but it's certainly possible, and especially when you can throw so much lead down range and not have to worry about burning through your stockpiles, because regardless of what the situation is, it's not that easy to store thousands and thousands of rounds of 223, 7.62, even 9mm and 45 and things like that. Whereas you can store thousands of rounds for 22 without taking up much space and without spending a lot of money. Even right now, these days, it's still only about $18 at Walmart for a pack of 550 rounds. So for $100, you can have several thousand rounds of 22 ammo. And then you add that to a very reliable semi-automatic rifle like this, and there's just no reason not to have that. It serves as a backup for offensive and defensive. It can be used for hunting. It can be used for all sorts of stuff. So I definitely recommend a semi-automatic 22 rifle that has decent capacity magazines. It doesn't have to be the 1022, but I love Ruger. 1022s have been around for years. They're fantastic. There's lots of different versions and mods and things you can get for them, and I think they're a great choice. But, whatever gun you choose to use doesn't matter. One type of gun that I specifically left off this list of the 5 guns that you need to have is something like a long-range, quote-unquote, sniper rifle. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have this. I'm just saying it's not, in my opinion, one of the 5 that you really need to have for a couple reasons. First of all, there are just not that many situations that are realistically that are going to come up where you have to do incredibly accurate long-range sniper-style shooting. In most situations, even if you were required to be doing, sniping of any kind, a good shot can reach out to several hundred yards pretty effectively with something like an AR-15. Certainly, if you're worried about that, you can get one with a longer barrel, get something that's chambered in even 308 if you want to. You can have your main battle rifle can be chambered in 308, or even 7.62 or something if you want a little more range. And you still have the semi-automatic capacity, things like that. You still have the fact that it's magazine fed, things like that. So while I have a gun like this with the bipod, you can get all that stuff in the scope. You can do all that in your main battle rifle too. So while I have this gun and it's fantastic, and if I ever am required to do any sort of sniping activities, I'm certainly going to be using this one. It's not a necessary gun for preppers to have, because you can do a lot of the things that you would do with this with your main battle rifle if you're a good shot. So that's, you need to make sure that you are a good shot, obviously. And if you're not, having a gun like this isn't going to do you much good anyway. But this is a super effective gun. If you do need to hunt like big game or something like that, certainly having a 308 or a 300 Winchester mag or a Lapua Magnum or anything like that is badass. Definitely, if you want one, get one. But I don't think it's one that you need to have to consider yourself, prepared. I think that those are 5 guns that most preppers really need to have to pretty much have every base covered. Obviously, you can come up with all sorts of what-if scenarios where you would need one thing or another, everything from a Class 3 firearms to silencers to sniper rifles and all sorts of crazy stuff. But I'm not talking about what-if scenarios. I'm talking about a basic arsenal that anyone can manage, relatively inexpensive, and will cover 95 to 99% of all scenarios that you come across. So I would definitely worry about getting those 5 slots taken care of first before trying to either have backups for any of those individually or move on to other things like sniper rifles, Class 3, short barrel and stuff like that, or pretty much anything else. So let me know what you guys think about if you would have a different top 5 types of guns for preppers and survivalists, and post in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later.